Hello and welcome once again to Learner's Coach. We want to take a look at how to scheme for an assessment or a test. Now, apart from maybe doing your normal scheme of work for the various lessons, we can talk about theoretical lessons, right? We have a scheme of work or how you should prepare a scheme of work for an assessment. And this one is a bit simpler compared to maybe scheming for the normal lessons, right? But before that, I want you to maybe understand also how to weight or create some kind of performance criteria weighting. And this one actually applies for those who are going to be using the OS. In our case, you're not going to use the OS, but if you have just passed here to understand what is happening, I can also just direct you to our you can come to our channel here and type PC. Just type PC. I think it's going to give you, yeah, you can see. So you can have a look at the PC weighting tool, especially for those who are using the OS, right? You can always use this particular tutorial to enable you understand how to develop a performance criteria weighting tool for your assessment. Anyway, that was just a by the way. Let's come back to the main thing. So for the scheme of work for a test, now this could be a CAT. We normally refer to it the continuous assessment test. It's normally issued in most institutions between the week of 5 to 7, right? So if you're a student who is actually on a teaching practice, your assessor will always come to confirm whether your CAT was issued and how did you issue it. So you have to provide a scheme of work, and of course you need to provide a lesson plan. So I'll show you both the scheme of work for a test and a lesson plan for a test. So I've already created one. So I just want us to let me just remove that. I just want us to understand how to create one for ourselves. So if you look here, I'm assuming, because it was about of some assumption, I'm assuming that this CAT was done in week 4. I can even change it to week 5. So you can just have week 5 there, right? So one is to understand the various administrative details. I don't want to go into details about this because you have already mentioned them, right? So you can also check our YouTube channel for further information about how to create a scheme of work. So just go there, type scheme of work. It's going to show you. We have indicated all these. So mine is just to show you some slight difference between the other scheme of work and for the test. So for the topic or subtopic, for the subject is the subject that you're teaching, isn't it? Like in my case, I teach information technology. The syllabus topic is going to be computer networking. Then the name, of course, it's going to be course work evaluation, right? And then the subtopic should be a midterm exam, right? Actually, maybe to make things clearer, let me just remove this course evaluation. You see, even when I'm teaching you, I also note that there's some, or you can just leave it like that. You can just leave it like that. There's no harm. There's no harm. You can just leave that. Sorry for that. Let's just leave it the way it is, right? So you can have this course work evaluation, or you can always remove this computer networking and replace it. The syllabus topic will always be what? Coursework. So I'll just remove this. Alright, so syllabus topic is what? Coursework evaluation. Then the subtopic is midterm exam. Now that is what I wanted, right? So it's going to take 1 hour, period 1, and of course the lesson title could be midterm exam. So it depends it could be end term exam. So if it's end term exam, we just type end term exam, isn't it? Then what are your parameters of evaluating this particular test, isn't it? So ensure by the end of the lesson the learner should be able to attempt all the question. Actually, that is the expectation. Of course, the other objective is that they need to score at least 65. Otherwise, if they don't score 65 and above, then they are going to repeat the lesson, which happens to be the test, isn't it? So topics covered. Topics covered should be what you taught within that particular period. Let's say from week 1 to week 4. So you can capture them here, right? You can just align them all here, right? Whatever you captured, right? And then in the trainee, what they are supposed to do during the exam. So that is the activities. So they should sit properly, appropriately, and you should be the one guiding them. So they should also keep away necessary materials. They should receive question papers and answer sheets, write exams in silence, start and stop, all these, sign attendance. So these are things that you need to ensure that the trainee does, and you need to guide them appropriately. Of course, it needs to have some reference for the scheme of work of a test. So if you are doing some kind of CDAC exam, you can give them CDAC past papers or any exam past papers that is relevant to the exam that they are doing. Of course, teacher's notes is what they refer to. Then what are the teaching aids? They need to have some kind of timing. So you need to put some kind of wall clock. You have to give them some question paper, right? And of course, you need to give them answer sheets. Okay, marking scheme is not going to be theirs, but maybe after you have marked, you can always provide them. Then test table of specification and attendance sheet, very, very important, right? So that is for the scheme of work, right? So if you want to create assessment or scheme of work for assessment, that is how to create one. Then let's look at how to create a lesson plan. Of course, lesson plan is going to be a bit different, but it's just the same as the scheme of work that you've created here. All right, so if you look at this lesson plan, you can see. So also you need to indicate the time that this exam was, or the CAT was issued. So this one is from 11 a.m. to 12 a.m. The date, the subject. We change the week, so this one also should be week 5. The class, the name of the class, the continuous assessment, it was CAT 1, right? Then you also need to indicate your admission number if you are a TP student. If you are not, you can state your employment number and also indicate your name. Very, very important. So if you scroll down, specific objectives for the lesson plan of a test is that by the end of the lesson, the learner should be able to attempt. You remember the other, you should capture exactly the objective from the scheme of work. Then the teaching aids as well from the scheme of work. Of course, the references you can also put there. Then for the lesson plan of a test, now you have to break down how the time is going to be used. So it's going to take 60 minutes. And within the first 10 minutes, you need to ensure that there's adequate space. You can walk around within the class, ensure that the sitting arrangement is well, there's adequate, all these, there's no noise, all these, right? So a teacher in this case is going to explain the purpose of the test to the learner and encourage them to ensure that all this is observed, right? So that will take 10 minutes. That is introduction. Then for the body part, so when you're executing the test, right? When you're executing the test, I think I didn't break down the minutes accordingly. So if that is 10 minutes, maybe say the test is going to take let's say 40 minutes, right? And summary you don't really need to do a lot of things, so it's going to take 60 minutes, right, in total. So you have to adjust that. So the total that is going to take 60 minutes. So In the test execution, teacher announces when to start, writing the test, when to stop, check any anomalies. So that is going to take, so this is like the period that the student is doing the paper or the exam, right? Then in summary, you go collect the scripts, they hand in actually the scripts, and then they send the attendance, right? And that is all. So creating a scheme of work and a lesson plan for a test or an assessment is a very, very easy exercise. But if you don't know, then it becomes difficult. Now that you know, I believe now you find this particular video useful or meaningful. So give it a like, and also don't forget to subscribe. All right, thanks.